Hello folks, welcome to Dice Chatter. Now, it is not a normal thing for me to do reviews on my channel. I generally play games and give you folks the tools to decide if something is worth it to you, but today I wanted to take a deep dive into the second big release for the Games Workshop game Warcry, specifically Warcry Catacombs. So, let's dive right in. Disclaimer, I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Games Workshop. I did not receive this box for free, and this review is specifically from my point of view. All ideas, thoughts, anger, joy, and opinions are my own and not influenced by an outside party. Here is my reviewing scale. Everything is based on a 5-star review. 1 being bad, 2 needs improvement, 3 is on point, 4 exceeds expectations, and 5 is the best damn thing ever. We will be looking at 3 major categories today: aesthetics, gameplay, and value. Let us start off with some gameplay. Gameplay is a big category and is something that all players should not take lightly. If your gameplay is not clean and enjoyable, I don't care how inexpensive your box is or how beautiful the models are, I ain't buying it. So we will look at a number of things here: narrative and matched play, the overall rules, are they accessible, easy to learn, formatted well, and smooth for the players. Now, without getting into strategy and tactics, let's jump into the pit. Overall, Warcry is designed to get your wargaming newbie well into wargames. The rules are less than 10 pages, Catacombs adds maybe 6 or so to that number, and is a great way for someone who thinks they would like to start becoming even more of a nerd, well, the chance to. Ignoring the core rules for Warcry, we specifically will look at the Catacombs book. The new Catacomb rules add a number of new dynamics to the game, while also removing a few from the core game. I don't think this necessarily is a bad design, and it is intended for this purpose. Your gameplay starts fresh with collapsing bridges, terrain to avoid, doors and walls that block your path to victory. Catacombs takes the illusion of a simple skirmish miniatures game and adds more depth and strategy that each player must learn and master over a number of games. They achieve this goal by adding in special terrain features, a fun map, and more abilities for your fighters. Just these few added aspects make Catacombs feel like a new game, but not entirely. For your narrative player, Catacombs adds a number of campaign battles and fated quests to pique your interest. Some use the new dungeon setup, and others still mix in the core game, board, and terrain. Reading through a number of them, these quests seem like a blast and something I'd like to try when I can go play at a game store, once again. For you matched play players, you get the new rules, and that's about it. This system is geared more towards the casual player, and Warcry overall has not really put a large focus on those who want to create a Warcry tournament list. They save most of that for their army-based games. For an overall score, I would give the gameplay 3.5 stars. The game feels and plays like you are in a dungeon surrounded by lava. With at any moment, you could take a tumble and have a similar fate as Gollum. The rules are clear, easy to learn, and great for newer players. Games Workshop hit their mark here, but I don't feel like enough that exceeds expectations. Now we move on over to the aesthetics. I will cover both the miniatures and the terrain that is presented in the box. Let's start off with the miniatures. Inside the Catacombs box, it comes with 17 brand new miniatures that you can use in your Warcry Catacombs games, or 2 new warbands. You have the Scions of Flame and the Cainite Shadow Stalkers. I don't have much bad to say about these models. Games Workshop has really been hitting it out of the park with the Warcry models. Strong poses, sturdy base connections, and overall gorgeous models. Each warband has a concise theme that fits and makes sense, and it is easy to tell the difference between the 2 warbands. The only negative I will mention about the models is the conversion factor. The models are monopose and go together in odd ways. It may be difficult for someone to convert a fighter up when it isn't as simple as torso, arms, legs, and head. Overall though, the models, they're fantastic. Continuing on over to the terrain, once again, I don't have much negative things to say about the terrain. It all looks wonderful, fits the Warcry aesthetic, and your painting plans can be all over the place, giving you the freedom to go crazy on themes and colors. The addition of the original Warcry starter set terrain is a welcome gift as well. Now, this terrain doesn't necessarily have any place down in the lava-filled dungeons, but as someone who enjoys working on terrain, it was a happy acquisition. Now, to put a rating on the aesthetics of the box, I would give it 4 stars. Everything is solid and I would argue exceeds my expectations. The board is colorful and fun, the models look great and fit that either flame or darkness theme, the terrain is creative and has optimal use in the game. If you like the looks of a Warcry Catacombs table, you cannot go wrong with this box. The coup de grace of our review is the value of this box, and for a lot of you, that may be the killing blow. So let's dive in. Since a majority of my viewers spend their money with dollars, I will be using that form of currency for the duration of this video. The Catacombs box is $210. That is an expensive price point, especially when you compare it to the original Warcry starter set box, which was $170. But let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Games Workshop has created a specific and niche product for a boxed game that is not one of their main sources of income. With this price point, we have to account for a number of things. Some of these include inflation on products, shipping costs, Brexit, and of course hitting profit margins. At the end of the day, Games Workshop can charge whatever they want for a product, and if we as consumers still buy it, even at high price margins, prices will continue to rise until they see a change in consumer habits. Now, with all that being said, this box contains significantly less product than the original starter set and is $40 more expensive. So let's go over that. In the original starter, you received a plethora of terrain, the Iron Golems Warband, the Untamed Beast Warband, and 12 models dedicated for the Chaotic Beasts. You got the core rulebook, cards for determining the battle plans, tokens, rulers, dice, and so on. For Catacombs, you get the 2 warbands, a relatively same amount of terrain, even though half of it is a carbon copy of the starter set, the core rules, the new Catacombs rules, dice, tokens, and so on. This Catacombs box is missing a lot more plastic than the original box and is more expensive. Enough that I'm sure that some of you are turned off by this and will not purchase this product. If we ignore the original box and just assume Catacombs is a solo supplement, I would still argue that this box is still even a bit overpriced for the amount of content to get started. Everything in this box is required to play and is a must purchase. The question is it too much for the standard consumer to be turned off from this product? Only time will tell. For a rating, I would give the value of this box a 2 out of 5. You got to know what you were getting yourself into. The repetitiveness of the terrain is a fault, as well as the $40 price hike for a similar supplement. But the consumer also has to understand there are reasons for the price increase. Overall, I give the new Catacomb supplement a 3 out of 5 stars. This box is right on point, and you could argue fits perfectly as a continuation for Warcry as a skirmish game. The models and terrain are spectacular with quality sculpts, the gameplay is quick, clean, and enjoyable enough that it won't get stale after a few games, but it is your price tag that can turn away folks that may want to purchase the supplement. At the end of the day, Warcry Catacombs is a solid game, and an enjoyable one at that. If you'd like to see some Catacombs battle reports, I have them on the channel and more will be coming out shortly. I would love to hear all of your opinions about the box and Catacombs overall. Feel free to comment and join in on the conversation. Also do all the socials, subscribe, check out the Discord, and Patreon, links are below. Until next time folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.